Alright y'all, welcome back to Retro ReWire. My name is JJ, and in today's video, or today's episode, we're going to be doing a game pickups video. Now, as always, you know it's true, I'm excited about this one, and it's going to be for, well, you know what, I'm not even going to make it a big surprise reveal because you saw the thumbnail, you read the title, you made the click, and it's going to be for the FZ-1 from Panasonic, and it's a freaking 3DO machine. Anyhow, let's go ahead and cut to some beauty shots. Alright y'all, so you saw the machine. Let me know what you all think down in the comments down below. But anyhow, let's keep the show moving. And I'm just going to show off a few of the things that I ended up picking up along with the console. But before that, I just want to say, is this console for everybody? Definitely no. This is kind of like an acquired taste, like a delicacy, like a motsunabe, Japanese type dish. Definitely not for anyone, for everyone, but it is tasty for those of us that do like it. Anyhow, let's start with the controller. The console actually came with this controller here, which is, let the camera focus there. But this controller, 5 buttons and then your select and start, which I believe the start button acts as the punch button in Street Fighter. In fact, I know it does because I was playing it earlier, but I'm not really gonna go too much into detail other than saying, like, I freaking love that it has this headphone jack. That's definitely, I wouldn't say it's a game changer because this is 1993 vintage, but definitely super convenient. It is comfortable, although I'm not a fan of the D-pad. But you know, for the fighting games, as I mentioned, Street Fighter uses like the start button as one of the punch buttons, which is kind of annoying. I got used to it a little bit, but definitely not the way that I want to play the game. So I ended up getting this bad boy too, which is the FZ-1 JS1 arcade stick. Now, this was something that I actually found in the junk section at a hard off, and the reason why it was there was because they weren't able to test it because they didn't have any games on hand. And you know, I want to say that this controller is actually pretty good, but I'm pretty sure that this controller is actually not, it's just branded as a Panasonic controller, but I'm pretty sure it's an ASCII controller. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And the reason why is because I actually have a flyer from a different ASCII pad that I have, and it actually has this same arcade stick just kind of rebranded for Super Famicom, you know, for the Super Fami, and it's exactly the same thing. So I'm pretty sure, you know, but anyhow, the controller is comfortable, it is nice to use, and the buttons themselves, they're actually kind of like marble textured, which I think is actually pretty interesting, and it does definitely make a difference for the very few fighting games that are available on the 3DO. But with that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the games that I got here. And if you see here, I have this case, and I don't really foresee myself getting too many more that will not fit in here. I think, in fact, the entirety of the collection that I actually would deem essential will probably fit in this entire case. But on the topic of, you know, 6-button games, I have this here, which is, there we go, which is Super Street Fighter 2 X. This is the Grandmaster Challenge with its funky soundtrack. I think the soundtrack was also available on the anniversary collection on the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. And I want to say this port is actually pretty good, although there are a few things that are left to be desired, specifically with the backgrounds. There's no background scrolling, but you know, that's just kind of, I guess, nitpicking it, and overall it's pretty good. And I want to say that it's a little bit more difficult than the Sega Saturn version. The Sega Saturn version is just kind of silly in regard to its difficulty. It's a bit easy. And then here's one that I was actually super interested to actually try out, and I wasn't disappointed. And it's actually one that I featured in my In the Hunt series, but this is gonna be, as you can see there, Slam & Jam 95 by Crystal Dynamics. Now, the only major bummer about this is that it doesn't have any licensing, so everything's a bit generic. If it had the licensing, this was definitely would be like a, I would say, I wouldn't go so far as say as a system seller, but for those that love sports games, especially the older type, definitely essential. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm still not done with it, of course, but you know how it goes. Anyhow, next game is, this one is a system seller, which is 3DO, and I actually ended up getting this one for like $3. This is the Japanese version, and I have played it. Most of it is going to be in English, save for a few menus and whatnot, but this is actually pretty fun. Now, the performance is a bit choppy, but I don't know, I had a fun time playing it, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna delve too much into its like career type mode that it has. I'm probably just gonna go into the straight up the arcade mode because all the cool bikes are unlocked and you can get right down to the road rashing, but definitely an essential game. And if you look in the back, it actually has the original MSRP, which is 8,800 yen. Now this is like 1994, 1995 money, which is freaking expensive, but definitely a fun game, highly recommended. And here's one. We got Samurai Shodown, or Samurai Spirits as it's known here in Japan. And this one is actually sealed. I ended up finding this at a local mom and pop shop. And I put some social media, I put some short videos up on my social media because they had a number of sealed titles, but this is the one that I ended up picking up. It is a little bit sun faded, as you can see, but I don't know, I feel really bad about opening this one. So I'm probably just gonna leave it sealed because I do have other ways to play this game. And if you know, if Super Street Fighter 2 is missing quite a bit from the arcade, I'm sure that one is gonna be no different. Anyhow, we're down to the last two games. Now, these two games are pretty much, I wanna say it's worth it to buy the 3DO just for these two games. And the first one is the original D. I freaking love this series. I love the games from Kenji Eno, and this one is no exception. In fact, this is definitely like a grail buy for me. I mean, look at all this. Look at this madness. I want to get this one framed, but you know, I play it from time to time, so that's not gonna happen. And I actually beat it a few times, got the good ending, the bad ending. It's a fairly short game, especially if you know what you're doing. And I don't know, yeah, this game is freaking awesome. Can't recommend it enough. But again, well, before I say recommend it, you know, or recommending it, this is an acquired taste. We're going back to that Motsunabe dish. Definitely not for everyone. It's an early FMV title, and the reason why I like it, I just like the whole mystery behind it, the whole craziness behind it, and it's a game that I'm going to be playing, you know, until I can't play games anymore, whatever. And then of course I have the vanilla version of D. The other one is the director's cut. Now this one is definitely worth it in my opinion. And yeah, this one added like more sound effects, more cutscenes, which, you know, some of them are a little bit questionable, but you know, the more the merrier in the end. And definitely happy to have this one in the collection. This is another essential game for my collection. And yeah, I want to say like the FMV is definitely a little bit higher quality than the original vanilla release, but not just shy of the PlayStation 1 version, which I also have, as well as the Sega Saturn version. I got them all, and there's more that I want. Like, anyhow, going back to this one, you know, it does include like a little mini soundtrack, a bonus CD, and of course the actual game. But super psyched about this one, and I'm glad to have it in the collection. In fact, I already beat it a couple times as well. I was all going crazy with D's Diner, and definitely for those of you that like kind of quirky games, B-side games, definitely highly recommended. And there are a few other games that I want to buy, but probably like Gex, just kind of thinking off the top of my head, but not too many more. But anyhow, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. Thank you for sticking around this long. And I think for the next few episodes, I'm going to be covering arcade sticks, as well as continuing our the In the Hunt series, of course. But anyhow, that's going to be it. My name is JJ. Thank you for watching Retro ReWire, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Ciao.